Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5, presented by Texas Beef House. Today, Top 5 intriguing portal decisions. This will be the college football version of this. We'll probably do a college basketball one on Thursday or Friday, depending on how things shake out when the portal closes today for basketball. For football, these are guys not necessarily the top 5 ranked guys. Some of them are ranked high, some of them are kind of in the middle, but intriguing portal decisions, guys who have some options, but very curious to see where they go because they could fit in some places very nicely. Number 5, Simeon Barrow, Michigan State, Miami, Florida State, USC, LSU, all in on Simeon Barrow. He's taking lots of visits. He's one of the most sought-after players in the portal. And why? Just look at that position right there. Defensive line. He is trying to cash in right now on the mad dash for defensive tackles, and we'll see where he winds up. Walter Nolan kind of started this flow back in January when he left A&M and went to Ole Miss. And now the position, and it's the hardest to find, are really elite defensive tackles. Simeon Barrow certainly is one from Michigan State. His decision is going to set off a couple of dominoes, I think, at the position when he finishes taking his visits, which might be another week or so. Number 4, Zakari Franklin, wide receiver, Ole Miss and UTSA. This is a picture of him at Ole Miss, so we know he caught a pass at Ole Miss, but that's about all he did. He only played or dressed for 4 games. He dealt with injury last year, decided that the lane train is not one he wanted to be on, and he's back in the portal. Now, coming out last year, he was one of the most sought-after guys in the spring after 2 fantastic years of being not only a yardage monster, but a reception and touchdown monster at UTSA with his quarterback, Frank Harris. Now, while the reunion with UTSA probably wouldn't be well out of the realm of possibility, considering that Frank Harris has gone there, he's probably not going back there. He is a Cedar Hill native, which means that maybe schools in Texas are attractive to him. A&M, TCU, SMU, Baylor, Texas Tech, Houston, all could be landing spots for him. Not to mention maybe some other spots in the SEC because we didn't really get to see him get going. I would say LSU might kick the tires on him, and who knows who else. Zakari Franklin, really, really interesting player. Also, don't discount Oregon in this one. His former offensive coordinator, as you know, is the play caller up there in Oregon. Number 3, Tyler Barron, defensive end, Louisville and Tennessee. Really should have put Louisville here, just could have kept it Tennessee. He was one of the people like Penny Boone, who just committed to UCF, that made a brief trip to Louisville, Kentucky, and spent spring there, and then decided it was not for him. Best defensive end left on the market, and a really good one who, after he left Tennessee, which was kind of shocking, I think, to the people in Tennessee, to go get his bag, went to Louisville, didn't like it there, is now trying to go back into the portal. He'll have some interesting decisions. He was at one point a commit to Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, then changed his mind to Louisville. He can still go back there because he is a grad transfer. So he's not prevented from entering the SEC again, as most people, non-grad transfers, would be at this time in the spring portal. Keep your eye out for Tyler Barron. He's going to make a lot of money again wherever he goes, especially if that's Ole Miss, because they have been throwing it out like drunk guys after a breakup at a strip club. Number 2, Demarcus Davis. Marmar, as they call him, quarterback, Washington. This was a huge signing for Kalen DeBoer and Washington this year out of high school. Then Kalen DeBoer went to Alabama. Alabama is awash in quarterbacks, even after losing Julian Sayin, their 5-star quarterback recruit, to Ohio State after Nick Saban retired. So we'll see where he goes. Again, he has not played yet. This is a class of 2024 guy that went through spring with Washington. Will Rogers is going to be the starting quarterback there. Jed Fish brought one of his quarterback commits from Arizona up there with him. And Davis now kind of stuck between where he wants to go. Very interesting where this guy, a very highly recruited quarterback, probably won't get quite as much interest as Julian Sayin. Obviously, Sayin was the #1 player in the whole country and the #1 quarterback in the country. But Marmar Davis, as they call him, will be leaving Washington, and somebody's going to get themselves a highly touted prep quarterback who's got 1 spring under his belt at the power level. And number 1, Cormani McClain. Yes, I know. This is obvious. It's on the nose. But this guy was super highly recruited, was Colorado's big boon out of the high school ranks just a year ago. Did not fit there with Prime, which is very, very surprising that he did not. But Cormani McClain will be on his way into the portal and somewhere else. He's got offers or at least calls from 11 schools, according to On3.com's Hayes Fawcett. A lot of those schools are power conference schools, and then Memphis, I believe, has called. USF has called as well. I'm going to tell you, it's a very interesting school to watch here because it's from very close to where he's from, as is USF. But it's Gus Malzahn and UCF here. This might be the pond he needs to swim in right now, and it'll be a little closer to home, and he might be more comfortable and happy. But he is going to get the red carpet treatment because everybody wants this kid's talent, and they think they can fix whatever attitude problems he has and make him an effective player. Cormani McClain will get tons of calls. He'll be probably, his recruitment, Garrett, I think is going to go one of two ways, right? He's either going to commit so fast it makes our heads spin,
right,
or we're going to be like 2 or 3 weeks from now going like, okay, it's finally the day where Cormani McClain declares. But he will absolutely be the most sought-after guy in the portal right now because of his tremendous talent at high school. And coaches some of them are dissuaded by hearing things like, well, he didn't work out with Coach Prime. Other ones are like, well, no, I can fix that. Coaches they're all Chip and Joanna at their heart. Like they all just want to fix something. They want to be able to, like, this has got good bones, I can fix this thing. And that's Cormani McClain to a lot of coaches. Like, okay, well, as a young freshman, he didn't have the right attitude. Maybe a transfer helps him, jumpstart the system and we can get him pointed on the right track. Maybe Deion Sanders just wasn't the best fit for him. Deion's maybe even admitted that much. Like he didn't want to, do the things we wanted. He's not a fit here and wish him the best of luck. It's actually probably one of the nicer things that Deion has said about some of the kids that have left in the portal. That's going to do it for the top 5. We're back to wrap it up right after this.